Today, I'm reupholstering this office chair, and I just learned a new technique that makes this a pretty quick job. Let's get started. This chair has a removable seat pan that attaches to the frame with 4 screws. Once I removed those, I could remove the plastic piece and see how they attach the original upholstery. This is something I hadn't seen before, and it's a pretty smart way to attach the fabric. The fabric has a surged edge with a cord running through it, and they use that to cinch the fabric around the seat pan. The only stapling they had to do was in the corners to control those pleats, and a few more staples to secure the cord and prevent it from slipping. I don't have a serger, but I think there's a way to replicate this on the LSZ. But before I could touch any fabric, I needed to get this cleaned up and make a pattern using the old seat cover. While removing the staples, I noticed this plastic is not very thick, so I'll need to be careful later to use short staples so they don't make it all the way through the material. I'll also need to be careful not to crack or damage this because I have no idea how I would fix that. This old foam has certainly seen better days, and since it's a small piece that's only around 1 inch thick, it'll be pretty cheap and easy to replace. I gave the seat base and the rest of the frame a quick clean and then laid the old fabric on top of patterning material to trace a rough template. This doesn't have to be the most precise pattern piece ever. I just needed to match the original shape and make sure there's enough fabric to wrap completely around the seat pan. I marked the first half, then folded along the center line and transferred the shape to the other side to complete my pattern. The foam I'm using is 1 inch Sailrite high density upholstery foam. I got this piece from my scrap pile, but I believe it's either medium or firm. Since this is a thin piece of foam, I wouldn't recommend a soft foam for a chair like this. I cut out an oversized piece with the cordless foam saw and sprayed it to the seat pan with Sailrite spray adhesive. I let the glue set for a couple minutes and attached the foam to the seat pan. I needed a bit more glue on the front lip so that the foam would hold that shape. This is important for the next step. I used the cordless foam saw to trim away all the excess foam on the seat pan. I ran the blade perpendicular to the plastic and used the seat itself as my template to perfectly shape the foam. You waste a little bit of foam doing it this way, but it would be really difficult to get this shape so perfect if you pre-cut the foam to its final size. A long serrated bread knife is an at-home alternative, but it will not cut as smoothly or as quickly as this foam saw. I trimmed the corner of the foam on that front lip, which probably wasn't necessary, since I went on to attach a layer of 1/4 inch batting to round out the edges and add a little bit of cushion on the sides so there's a barrier between the plastic and the fabric. And then I trimmed off the excess on the bottom. The foam is done, which meant I could start work on the fabric. The fabric I'm using is called Aldura Rumor. It's an indoor-outdoor upholstery fabric with a slubby weave that gives it a nice texture. We currently have 8 colors of this fabric available, and this actually isn't one of them. I scored this fabric in one of our 5-yard fabric second mystery bags, and those are a great way to get some high-quality fabrics for over 75% off. If you're watching this in the distant future, the fabric seconds are probably gone, but I'll link them below just in case. And I'll also link all the current colors of Aldura Rumor fabric. I like to cut acrylic fabrics with a hot knife for a clean edge that won't unravel. That's especially important for this chair because there's going to be some tension on the outer edge of the fabric. The simple trick that made this project possible is sewing a zigzag stitch over this twine all the way around the outer edge of the fabric. This will function just like the overlock stitch on the original cushion. This fabric has a right and a wrong side, and I'll be sewing on the right side so that the stitching is facing out once it wraps around the bottom of the seat. I did a quick test to determine if I wanted to quickly sew around the perimeter and then feed the cord through with a needle, or just sew right on top of the twine and make it a one-step process. This is by far the faster method. Just make sure you're not sewing through that twine. You wouldn't want to sew it in place because it needs to move freely to cinch the fabric. As I sewed, I aimed for the right side of my zigzag stitch to land about 1/8 of an inch from the edge of the fabric. I started and stopped at the midpoint on the back side of the fabric piece. With that sewn, it was time to see if the strategy would work with my slightly thicker fabric and zigzag stitch hack. I placed the cushion centered on the fabric, grabbed the two ends of the twine, and pulled them in opposite directions. I was relieved that the fabric pretty much snapped right into place and over the edge of the seat. This was really fun to do. I pulled the twine as tight as I could, tied some small knots in it, and stapled it down. Those knots help prevent the twine from slipping right through the staple. I did a couple switchbacks to the twine to finish securing it in place. At this point, the seat cover is on, but a few more staples will help tighten it up and make it look smoother around the edges and corners. I dressed the pleats in the corners just as they were previously and set a few staples on either side to keep them in place. I'm using 1/4 inch staples, which are the shortest ones we have, so that the points don't go all the way up through to the top. The Sailrite upholstery staple gun also does a great job of not driving the staples too far, which can damage the fabric or the material you're stapling into. We tested a lot of popular staple guns on the market recently, and that was a problem we encountered quite a bit. I did a couple more staples on the perimeter for good measure, and all that was left was to screw the seat back onto the frame. This chair turned out pretty well, and I can see myself using this cinching technique more in the future. This is a quick project you can do in probably an hour or two. So if you've got an office chair or anything constructed in a similar way, I'd give it a try instead of tossing out that old chair. The fabric and tools I used to make today's project go smoothly and quickly will be linked in the description box below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.